Hey, what's up? Dusk here. So, it looks like IllFonic just dropped a new teaser for the Halloween game coming out with a release date. This teaser also confirms two of Michael Myers' abilities, shows off how he works, and shows us a little bit more of the gameplay in action. It also shows that some of the information that we got from the Game Informer interview was a little inaccurate or exaggerated. Of course, that's not really IllFonic's fault, that's Game Informer's fault, more like Game Uninformer. Dad jokes aside, let's take a look at this trailer and see what's in it.
Rarely do teams get the incredible opportunity of exploring and creating a game around iconic horror legends like Michael Myers. In Halloween,
I just kind of want to take a moment there to poke a little bit of fun at IllFonic for starting off the teaser trailer here by really just talking about how awesome they IllFonic are. They're like, look at us, look at the license we secured here. Now, to be fair, IllFonic did earn this license because of a reputation they have, so they probably earned the bragging rights, but I still thought it was kind of funny.
players get to relive that fateful night in 1978 and step back into the town of Haddonfield, Illinois.
Okay, also, let's just take a moment here to appreciate how good this looks. You know, the scenery, the trees, the bushes, the leaves, like the puddles of water, the trash and trash cans, like it looks, you know, like they just took some photographs of suburbia and then just recreated those. Like it just looks really alive.
I'm Pierre from IllFonic, and today I'm thrilled to present an extended look at game.
Also, I just wanted to look at how good of a job they did on Myers. My last video, I spent a lot of time rewatching the old 1978 film a few times, which is always a treat to watch. It's so good, and it holds up even to this day. So the overalls are pretty fresh in my mind, in the look of Myers, and man, did they do a good job. Like, that is Michael Myers. They knocked it out of the park, dude.
Extended look at gameplay for Halloween.
Let's do that.
With the help of Unreal Engine 5, we've been able to reconstruct.
Again, look at how alive and real this looks. Absolutely just a stunning amount of detail. I love it.
Struck the quiet town of Haddonfield in stunning detail. Remaining authentic to the 70s era aesthetics was essential to how we crafted our play spaces. When players navigate these environments, they'll be surrounded by decor that
all the way down to that green refrigerator. Dude, I swear to God, in the 70s, every single refrigerator on the face of the planet was like that color green. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why.
Delightfully preserves a special moment in time. Throughout these locations, randomized townsfolk NPCs are living their lives, completely unaware of the danger.
Man, that walk though, again, they got Nick Castle to help out with mocapping the original walk, which was apparently, according to Nick Castle, just Nick Castle walking. So like his particular stride, I guess you're a spooky guy, Nick. I don't know, but like it looks so good here. Just the walk.
Are living their lives, completely unaware of the danger lurking right outside their windows. These NPCs serve as the game's primary objectives. Stepping behind.
Boom, and there we go. We see the first mechanic shown off here is very clearly a stalking mechanic.
Stepping behind.
This is going to be kind of reminiscent of Dead by Daylight's stalking mechanic that the Myers, that their Michael Myers has. Obviously, like the results and the powers that come from stalking will be vastly different because this is more of a an open map and you're playing a stealth killer, whereas Dead by Daylight is more of a sort of like competitive obstacle course. So like the games don't play even remotely similar, so the abilities and powers of Myers here will obviously be completely different, but it is still like that style where you look at people and then like something happens, a meter fills up or something, right? So we've basically kind of seen that mechanic before, but it suits Myers really well, so I'm not surprised to see it.
Behind the mask of this infamous killer, Michael's goal is to find, stalk, and kill the residents of Haddonfield before Halloween night ends. Once you've honed in and
before Halloween night ends. So that tells us that's what our round timer is, right? Before the night ends, which is kind of like what we expected. That's sort of how the 1978 movie ends, with Loomis sort of like thwarting Myers, but he doesn't kill Myers. In fact, Myers straight up disappears, but Halloween night is basically over at that point. So Myers just sort of disappears, um, which it's just crazy how well that transitions into video game format, you know?
Stalked a target, it's time to choose the perfect moment to strike.
Damn, that's a visceral kill, dude. That has, like, you can feel the force behind that. That's so good. Let's watch it again.
To choose the perfect moment to strike.
Damn.
Michael comes equipped with an array of unpredictable endowments, but the most powerful is Shape Jump. When in Shape Jump, Michael is invisible.
Okay, so Shape Jump, I think, is what Game Informer was saying, like a never before seen mechanic in any game I've ever seen before. They've either don't really play video games or don't play the asymmetrical genre or something, because this is very clearly Predator mode from last year, The Nightmare. But that said, the Predator mode was super cool, and it was like the highlight of last year, The Nightmare. Now, of course, it played out quite a bit differently in last year than it's probably going to play out here. And it looks like there might be a few mechanics tied into the stalking mechanic. It's hard to say. We're going to have to do some guessing. But yeah, this isn't like a brand new mechanic or anything. I was a little disappointed when I saw that we were basically just getting like a Dead by Daylight stock and, you know, the Predator mode from last year. Not because they're bad mechanics. I think they're going to be awesome. But because Game Informer painted this perception like we were going to see like some never before mechanics, and we're just seeing things that we're very familiar with. But again, that's fine, because I think this stuff is going to be really cool. And I really liked last year the Nightmares Predator mechanic. I think it was really awesome. And if they improve on it, which it looks like they probably have, it looks like they've improved on the entire genre, to be honest. I think it's actually going to be super cool. Also,
to the naked eye, this is our interpretation of
here.
Michael's inexplicable tendency to suddenly appear.
That the juxtaposition of going from like the white mask to like a black shape, but now instead of the eyes being black, the eyes are white like the mask. It's a fun juxtaposition, and the glimmers of light from the eyes are just really haunting. Like, really look at this.
Tendency to suddenly appear in completely unexpected places and catch victims off guard. Players.
We also see that he's moving much faster, so it's also a way to traverse the map. Now, they said that it was his most powerful ability, so I hope it's not spammable. In last year, The Nightmare, it kind of worked that it was spammable, but at the same time, it really led to less strategic gameplay and a lot more like mechanical gameplay, where it was a lot of like corner baiting and spam jumping like left and right and trying to be like super quick and coming in at a different angle and disappearing and coming in from that angle. And you know, the survivor human players were, you know, constantly like corner tacking and like baiting and you know, all that sort of thing. Like, it worked well in that game, but that will not work well in Halloween, because it's going to turn like that sort of like gameplay is very bulldozery, right? Like, that's something you would expect like a Jason Voorhees or something like that to have, that doesn't really fit Michael Myers. So I hope that it's limited in some way, either through usage or how it plays out. And if we look really close, now again, I don't know, but let's look really close and see if we can
When in Shape Jump,
analyze
Michael is invisible to the
some
naked
things here. So we see this person is moving, like Myers is very clearly watching
eye.
that person.
This is our
right?
interpretation of Michael's
But-
inexplicable tendency to suddenly appear in completely unexpected places and
Here.
catch victims off guard.
These are like completely stationary and frozen time, almost like it's a snapshot of the world for when Myers entered shadow mode. Now, it could be that these were just placeholder models that they just threw in there, and they just don't have animations on them. And if so, then we can ignore that. But what we could be looking at is that Myers doesn't know where they're at. So as soon as he goes into shape jump, he just has images of where people were, but he won't know where they are at currently. So he can't just like follow people. But again, we did see one person walking, like he was able to
visible to the naked eye. This
watch that person and is going to be able to trail them. So I don't wonder if this isn't how this stalking mechanic is going to work. You try to sneak up on people from a distance and stalk them. And once they're stalked, then you can go shape jump and actually follow them around and see where they move. But everybody else is sort of just a snapshot frozen in time. This means that you will have to do a little bit of guesswork on, is this person actually alone? Are there other people here? Do they have weapons? You know, so it might be that. Or again, like the models might have just been put there as placeholders. So it's hard to say for sure. But it would be really cool if you had to stalk people for this to really be all that effective, right?
This is our interpretation of Michael's inexplicable tendency to suddenly appear in.
Also, what's really cool is that all the lights, like in the pumpkins and the interior of the houses, you can see color. But outside where it's dark, everything is all grayscale. And I think what's cool about that, if you're hiding outside in a bush, you might actually be pretty hidden from Myers, right? Like he might not even be able to notice you. But if you're inside a house, you're going to be very easy to see through the windows, right? So like the interior of houses are where things are dangerous. That's where you're going to have to be paranoid. I think that's really cool.
In completely unexpected places and catch victims off guard. Players can also choose from a broad range of compelling civilian hero characters that have witnessed the wrath of Michael and need to warn their neighbors.
Okay, so these are civilian heroes that have witnessed Myers. So they're already aware. That means one of two things, or possibly both, that this takes place sometime after the 1978 movie, which would make sense since the 1978 movie was the first time Myers came home. It could also mean that this is just referencing back to the single player campaign of this game, but it's probably both. That this is sometime after the first Halloween, so people have heard the rumors, they know who Myers is, and then they witness his return and see that he's back in Haddonfield and killing people. And so now, you know, in the asymmetrical mode, they're like, oh, Myers is back, he's here, we've got to get out of your house.
Before it's too late. Finding an active phone will allow you to...
Keyword active phone, so not all phones are going to be active. This might be a hint that Myers can cut the phone lines or has cut the phone lines in the single player campaign. And then in the asymmetrical mode, you just have to find the one or two phones that are still functioning. Also, you can still see like the polygons on the phone, all the little flat spots. That's definitely because this is early alpha footage. That will not look like that on launch, I promise you.
Call the police and attempt to convince them to send in help. Just remember, you may be able to knock him down, but you can't kill the boogeyman. We hope you've...
Okay, so this comes down to, can you make bully squads and bully Michael Myers?
Down, but you can't kill the boogeyman. We hope...
And what's that sound effect, dude? It sounds like he's sitting up into a whoopee cushion. Listen, I hope that this is just something they added for the video. I hope that the game doesn't whoopee cushion Michael Myers.
You can't kill the boogeyman. We hope you've...
Okay, jokes aside. This does look like you could just bully squad up and go knock Myers down, and then everybody run over, teabag him. Oh, he's getting up, run away. So this is not a good look right here. But IllFonic also made Friday the 13th, and bully squads did this exact same thing to Jason. Now, this time around, IllFonic is like, don't worry, you can't bully squad Michael Myers. So my guess is that they are going to lean a little bit into some of the other movies, like Halloween Kills, where there is a scene where the townspeople literally surround Myers and try to bully squad Myers in the film. And they do knock him down, but when he gets back up, he's a bit enraged this time. and they don't seem to be able to knock him down again. And then he proceeds to just go on a killing spree and slaughter the ever-living Jesus out of the entire crowd. So my guess is that you can knock Myers down, and then that gives you time to run. But if you stick around, he should be at that point enraged, unable to be stunned again, and possibly even like moving faster. So that, yeah, anybody that sticks around is basically just kind of like dead meat at that point. I hope that's what we'll see here. We won't really know more, of course, until we see and hear more.
We've only scratched the surface of what's shaping up to be a truly special and murderous sandbox horror experience. And we can't wait for you all to join us in Haddonfield when Halloween launches on September 8th, 2026.
So there's a release date, September 8th, 2026. So as Slash and Cast pointed out, the game already has an ESRB rating, which means that the single-player campaign can be played to completion from start to end. Now, it might be unpolished, it might not be ready for launch, and there might be features missing, like perks or something like that, progression maybe, but that the single-player campaign is completely playable because that's what the ESRB folks need to give the rating, which means that even though this date is all the way out to next year, the game is still very playable in its current state. So we might see a beta playtest. Okay, we are most likely going to see a beta playtest either early next year, or who knows, maybe we get lucky and see one this Halloween. But anyway, yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you hyped for it? What are your thoughts on the trailer? Some of the mechanics that you saw? And don't forget to hit that like button as well. Really helps out. Appreciated the bunch. We'll see you in the next one.
Boogeyman. We hope you...